Johnny here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the Nintendo Direct games. Specifically, today, we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That's right, it was finally shown off at a Nintendo Direct June 18th, so about like 3 days ago at the time of recording this. And sorry there hasn't been as many videos as like last week per se. I've just been very busy, but no worries. Next week we'll be back to normal. But we also do got some videos this week, including Metroid Prime. We're gonna have Legend of Zelda tomorrow, and maybe some other stuff throughout the week. But Metroid Prime 4 was at the Nintendo Direct, and it was amazing. It is probably one of my favorite pop-off moments ever. That reaction will go down in history as one of my best reactions. Make sure you go check that one out if you haven't already. Man, there were a lot of pop-off moments, and it was a really great Direct. Probably my favorite Nintendo Direct ever. Just so many great announcements. And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was one of them, and it did get that title, Beyond, at the end of it, instead of it just being Metroid Prime 4, which I didn't actually expect that. Although it makes sense. Like, the 2 and 3 have like a weird tagline to it, but yeah, I don't know. It never crossed my mind that 4 would get one of those, but here it is. So yeah, we're going to talk about Metroid Prime 4, but if you guys love video games, if you love Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, third party, anything, if you love any kind of games whatsoever, consider subscribing, because we cover every game, as many games as humanly possible. And yeah, the rest of the year looking really good, and I'm super duper excited to get into a lot of it. But, yeah, leave a comment. What are your hype levels for Metroid Prime 4? But let's get talking about it, because it did get a nice little trailer. And, you know, my overall thoughts, Metroid is one of my favorite, or not even one of, it is top 3 franchises of all time for me. It is one of my favorite franchises of all time, period, just because I absolutely love it. And the thing is, I haven't really played all that many either, which is crazy. I just love the ones I've played so much, and I just love the aesthetic of the franchise. I just love the feeling I get from that franchise so much that it's just in my top 3. It is my favorite Nintendo franchise, hands down. Metroid Dread is my second favorite Switch game. And, well, actually, it'd be my first favorite if you're only including, like, Nintendo first party, because Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is my actual favorite Switch game, but that's technically third party Ubisoft collaboration, so I don't know if you want to consider. But yeah, it is my second favorite Switch game. And then Metroid Prime is awesome. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. The game is amazing. And you know, every time I talk about Metroid, every time I look at like my Metroid poster over there on my wall, every time I think about future Metroid games, I just get more and more excited for the future of Metroid. And this is exactly why. Because of a trailer like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, it was awesome. We've waited so long. It was originally announced in 2017, and we've waited and waited. They announced that it pretty much restarted development entirely, like about halfway through. So that's why it's been an even longer wait than what we'd expect. But my God, do I think it was worth the wait, because I think this is the best looking Switch game, hands down. And I'm just talking visually right now, because visuals, when you get into that trailer and you see that ship land, you're like, okay, hold up. Like, I had to pause for a second and make sure it was Metroid, because I was like, this could just be like a crazy looking sci-fi game, because it looked unreal. But then you see Samus rise out of the ship, and the lighting, the colors, the texture, everything looks so good. Samus jumps down, and man, let me just tell you, Samus looks so great in this trailer. I will say real quick, in my reaction, I was saying he and him. I'm fully aware that Samus is a she. It's just, I was so hype in the moment, I wasn't even thinking about it, and I grew up thinking Samus was a he, and so it's unfortunately just like kind of habit for me to say he, but I'm fully aware it is a she. All right, I'm fully aware Samus is a she, but yeah, she looked awesome. She looked awesome. The suit was super shiny, super clean. It is classic Samus look. It is absolutely glorious. But then you go into that first person perspective, seamless transition. And just the vista, the view you see, the giant laser that comes down, the different NPCs around. Oh man, it looks so good. It looks so good. And then you get to the gameplay, and it is just as good as you remember for Metroid Prime. You have your normal gun. You have like a charged beam. You have a rocket. You have your dodging. Samus can turn into a ball and roll around. It looks so good. I'm very curious to see what the boss fights are going to look like, because those were the best part of Prime, hands down. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited. I'm actually really curious to see what the story is like this time around, because the antagonist or villain that showed up in that trailer, bro, that was a hard moment when them like walking through the fire. My goodness, the cinematography, the like shots in this game, the character, everything. It just is the best looking Switch game I've seen. It is so beautiful in terms of how it looks, and I can't be more excited for this game. Let me tell you, it is easily in my top 3 most anticipated games. Which, by the way, I was thinking about this, and I am gonna do my top 30 most anticipated games video coming out soon. Pretty much the aftermath of all the summer events. I love my most anticipated list right now, because specifically my top 3, I have an Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation game all in there. It's awesome, dude. It's great to be a gamer right now. Bro, I absolutely love gaming. Gaming, I love video games. That's all I gotta say, you know? Gaming is just one of the best things ever. But yeah, it looks so fun. It looks so good. It looks really fun. And I know this is something everybody was really hoping for, because we've had to wait so long. And in my opinion, from what we've seen, I think the wait was well worth it. Let's just hope it can finally execute when it does come out. Which, that's going to be the next topic of this video. We're going to talk about when this game is coming out and what we think that release looks like, because it was given a 2025 release date. It just said 2025. It did it in like this second scene in the trailer where it like went over a bunch of like nature and stuff. It was like some weird flying creatures. Really cool. But here's the thing. I specifically thought this was going to be the holiday game. I thought this was going to be the big holiday game. This was going to be the send-off Switch game, because we do know the Switch 2 or Switch successor, whatever, the next Nintendo console will be coming out next year, supposedly. And the rumor right now is early next year, so we're thinking March, maybe April, May. But we thought this Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was going to come out this holiday. Turns out we were wrong. It was 2025. Now, that being said, when I was watching that trailer, even in my reaction, I said, this game looks so good. I do not think this is running on the current Switch. It just looks like the Switch is going to have the hardest time trying to run what this game looks like. And the fact that it did get a 2025 release almost tells me that it definitely is going to be a Switch 2 game or the next console game. Now, what I do think is this could be a cross-gen game. So I do think it will release for the Switch and the Switch 2 at the same time. I just do think the Switch 2 will have, you know, the better performance, the better resolution. Kind of like how Breath of the Wild released on the Wii U to the Switch. Switch was just the better version, and that's what people mainly went with. I do think that is what Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is also going to do, and I do think this is actually a really good idea. Number one, but then also before I get to that point, I don't know if this is going to be a launch title for the Switch or if this will be one of the big upcoming games for the Switch 2. Like, it'll be next year holiday. I could very well see it being holiday of next year, and that would be completely awesome. It'd be fine with me. Because then, to my point, is, number one, Metroid, we've waited so long for this game. Number two, Metroid is not that mainstream franchise yet. You know, it's not your Marios of the world. It's not your Pokemons of the world, where it's going to sell 10 mil in the first week, you know? It's just not, it's not that franchise. The highest selling Metroid game, I'm pretty sure, is like Metroid Dread at, I want to say 3 million, which is so sad, by the way. That game should be way higher. That game is a masterpiece. And Metroid is just not that series that people look at like, yo, this is why I need Nintendo. It's that series for Nintendo where people are like, this is why I love Nintendo, because we get titles like this, we get titles like Mario. But for the casual audience, for the mainstream audience, or not even mainstream, for the just outside public eye, Metroid is not that franchise for Nintendo. So I think doing this as one of their big launch titles, number one, won't really help the Switch too all that much. It won't really help Nintendo sell that many units. But then also, I think it will also be a disservice to Metroid Prime 4, because I do firmly believe that we are getting a full-on 3D Mario game for the launch of Switch. I do believe we are going to be getting some big launch titles for the Switch, and I do feel like, unfortunately, while I won't see it that way, Metroid Prime 4 will get overshadowed by everything else. And I do want Metroid, and I do think Nintendo even sees the potential of Metroid to make it that mainstream flagship title. And so to put a focus on that in holiday of next year, I think would do that game a big service. But that's really just what I think. You know, it could be a launch title. We could get the Mario platformer. We could get that first-person action game, and then we could get like a Mario Kart like party game. Boom, you got like 3 different pillars for launch title. I can also see that. Do I think that is the best move to do? No, not really. But it is very possible for Nintendo to do that. And yeah, overall, I'm just really, really excited to play this game because it does look super awesome. Metroid is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It is my favorite Nintendo franchise of all time. This has been one of my most anticipated games. It is my top 3 most anticipated games. So as you can tell, I'm just very, very excited. I want Metroid to just thrive, and I do think this game is going to help do that. Boy, does it look awesome. And also, it's like mascot color is like purple, and purple's my favorite color, so that's really awesome as well. If they announce a collector's edition for this game, I'm jumping on that really quick. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. We're going to be talking about Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom in the next video. Like I said, we're going to cover a couple of these Nintendo games coming up, and then we'll go back to just covering all the games throughout the summer. But then, yeah, hopefully I got some other videos for you coming out very soon. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Johnny Moore out. Peace.